We will start this webinar in just a few minutes. We'll just wait for everybody to get here and then we'll start in a bit. Okay, we are going to go ahead and get started now. Thank you all for being with us for today's Sustainability Essentials webinar, in which I am going to be talking about how you can grow your business by making every day Earth Day. And I am going to apologize now for not keeping my webcam on. I've got a little bit of a challenge on that front today, so I'm just going to skip it. The slides have the more interesting information anyway. I am Susan Inglis. I am the resident expert at Sustainable Furnishings Council, and I'm very pleased that you're joining us today. I do want to hear from you, despite the fact that I have you on mute. So as you have questions and comments, please put them in the question box on the right-hand side of your screen. And after I've gone through the presentation, I will turn my attention to those questions, and I look forward to answering them for you. To start with, though, our conversation mostly today is going to be about selling. To start with, I want to give you a bit of an introduction to Sustainable Furnishings Council in case you're not very familiar with us. We were founded in 2006. We are a membership organization. Our members are companies that are involved in residential furnishings in various ways, supplying materials, manufacturing all manner of furnishings products, stores where these things are sold, large, medium, and small, design firms, and importantly, environmental organizations. Major ones have been involved with us since the beginning and continue to guide our work. Each of our member companies has made their own public and verifiable commitment to sustainability, to transparency, and to continuous improvement. And as we'll be hearing today, your customers care about these things. So if you are not a member yet, I do invite your company to join too. We also have ways that non-members can get involved with us. A few years ago, we established the Sustainable Furnishings Education Fund, which is a 501c3. So we don't do any lobbying through that part of our two organizations. And we do a lot of educating for the general public and for the industry at large with programs like this one and with our Green Leaders course, which is actually a certificate program. It is 6 hours, 6 continuing education units, both for interior designers through IDCEC and through GBCI for LEED accredited professionals. It covers what is this sustainability stuff? What does it have to do with us? Some of which we're going to be discussing today, and has lots of questions to ask and answers to look for, and a sales training, which is reminiscent of what we're going to be covering today. So especially if you're interested in what we're talking about today, please consider taking our Green Leaders course. We are 15 years old, as I said, and we celebrated with a wonderful party recently at High Point Market. And I hope you were there. I hope that if you were not there, you've seen the pictures online, and we're going to refer to that party a bit in a minute too. Sustainability, as y'all know, is an umbrella term. There are many, many issues that fall under this wide umbrella of sustainability. And we do tend to worry about all of them. And we want to guide you, our member companies and others in the industry, in addressing any and all of these and setting your own corporate priorities to do so. But we do tend to put our own attention where we know we can have the biggest impact the most immediately. In the furniture industry, we are responsible for a large quantity of CO2 emissions because we are a global manufacturing industry, so using a lot of electricity, which is mostly generated by burning fossil fuels, and also transporting materials and goods all around the planet. So burning lots of fossil fuels that way too. And of course, those fossil fuels are causing more of our CO2 emissions that are warming the planet than anything else is. But deforestation is a surprisingly large contribution to CO2 emissions as well, and it's also a large contribution to our failing to absorb the CO2 emissions that we emit because we so depend on our forests to absorb those emissions. So we have a large responsibility for halting deforestation, and we can do that by using wood responsibly. Using wood is a good idea, but it must be done responsibly. Our industry also is responsible for pollution other than CO2 emissions, specifically pollution of our indoor environments, which often occurs as a result of the hazardous chemicals that are used in furniture production and often still present when that furniture comes into our homes, compromising our own health immediately, as well as that of other life on the planet. A lot of these chemicals are used in textile production. Textiles is one of the most chemically intensive industries in the world. When you're looking at 10 pounds of fabric, you are looking at 1 to 10 pounds of chemical inputs, many of which are toxic and can lead to water pollution and to other pollution. Leather also is often associated with water pollution, especially in countries that don't have such strong environmental protection laws as our own has and as many of the European countries have. When there is a pollution problem, it often affects the people who are doing the work or who are near the resource where the pollution is occurring. So social equity issues often go right back to the raw material, but they persist throughout our supply chains. And finally, at the end of the life of a piece of furniture, way too much of it is thrown away. 6% of US landfill waste are furniture now, which is way too much given that furniture is a durable good, supposed to last a long time, and we should be able to continue using it a long time. We address these issues that we are concerned with initiatives, especially to serve our members, but really to serve the industry at large. And about 5 years ago, we introduced the What's It Made Of initiative in partnership with other organizations we're involved with. The What's It Made Of initiative is to encourage transparency in our supply chains and to help us move away from this hazardous handful of harmful chemicals that are commonly found in furnishings. There are 80,000 harmful chemicals in consumer products, and a few of them are regulated. But there are only 5 of them that are most common in furnishings products. They are not well regulated, and that is something we lobby for better regulation on, especially with our partner, the American Sustainable Business Network. These are all persistent in the environment, and they are all linked directly to harm to human health and harm to other life on the planet. So I hope you will get involved with our What's It Made Of initiative by signing the pledge to ask what's it made of and making use of tools we provide that help you have good conversations with your vendors, specifically to move away from this hazardous handful. Also, on the subject of what things are made of, we have a wood furniture scorecard, assessments of which we are doing now for the 5th edition, this 2022 edition that will be published in October. We assess retailers on whether they are guiding their wood sourcing and wood product sourcing with a policy, whether it's a robust policy and whether it seems to be well implemented. And what we do is make a an assessment based on what we find on the website for these large retailers. We'll do about 150 companies this year. And some of them are small retailers, not all large, because we do, this goes way beyond our membership, but we do all our member companies and other companies. And we look on their website to see what we can find. We report to them what we find, asking them if we've missed anything. And then we offer to provide assistance in developing and implementing a robust policy. So have a look at the 2021 rankings that you'll find on our site, but look forward to what we will publish in the fall too. Our newest important initiative is in the realm of circularity. With our partner and member Neville Transforming Furniture, we have announced the launch of this circular design glossary for furniture and furnishings. And next month, during Circular City Week and during our webinar with ASBN, and then during our own webinar, we are going to be talking about it in more detail. But this circular design glossary is the beginning of a large body of work that we see needs doing on the theme of circularity in the furnishings industry. So we're excited. And at our party the other day, we announced this initiative. But we are here to talk about building your business by making Earth Day every day. As you know, tomorrow is Earth Day. Tomorrow is the 52nd Earth Day. And I hope that a lot of you have plans for celebrating that occasion, and will be doing special things to promote your own business in conjunction with this important occasion. But I'm going to just run through this idea that you should incorporate this theme of eco attributes throughout your corporate planning calendar. We have a social media campaign we've just started this month that is called Earth Day Every Day. And I hope that you will participate in that and participate way beyond tomorrow. You can do things like, if you have a store, include a featured item that has eco attributes in a regular rotation, or focus on eco attributes in a periodic sale. And you can do things like a rewards program. There's one called PIPS that I'll tell you about. There are also special events that work not only for retailers, but also for design firms and for wholesaling companies. You can do an invitation event, and it is a benefit of your membership in Sustainable Furnishings Council that we lend you our expertise. I will come and be a speaker for you. But there are other speakers that you can involve in your community too. And tying in with others in your community is an important part of spreading the word, because the importance of this cause of sustaining a healthy future, of course, goes way beyond our small industry. So that we're going to run through some things now that Sustainable Furnishings Council members are doing and that you can do. I suggest that you really put on your thinking cap and apply your imagination for what's right in your market. So City Furniture is one of our members, and their Earth Day event is they're hoping to keep 150,000 pounds of furniture out of the landfills by recycling customers' old furniture after purchase. So this is something that they are kicking off. And as you can hear, this is the kind of thing that's going to resonate with the general public. Greenington is one of our members that is a wholesale member, and what they are doing is a matching promotion for their retail vendors. So when dealers are participating with a discount for their consumer, Greenington matches the savings, which is, of course, a benefit to the dealer, like City Furniture would be a dealer for them, or Belfort Furniture is. And what Belfort does is an everyday program. There's a store located in Virginia, and they work with the Virginia Department of Forestry to plant a tree for every delivery. And they've been doing that for a while, as have some of their vendor members like Vaughan Bassett. And that, again, is something that really resonates with consumers. There are a couple of ideas here that I am going to talk about in order to begin to revive them. Several years ago, and y'all know I've been with this organization since we began, so I have a lot of historical perspective. Several years ago, we did a program with Habitat for Humanity Restores and our members, and it was called Sustainable Saturdays. And on those days, which was a designated Saturday of every month, the stores would take furniture to the restores. So if you bought a sofa at participating Sustainable Furnishings Council members, the old sofa was picked up by the Habitat for Humanity Restore. And we found that this was inspiring for our members to work with restores in their communities in various ways. And of course, Habitat for Humanity restores are in every community, but we also have other resale stores that benefit good causes in our communities. So many of our members took this idea and went in their own direction with it. And I suggest that you do that too, and just use this hashtag Sustainable Saturdays for anything that you are doing in your business on a Saturday. Also, years ago, we had a relationship with PIPS. PIPS stands for Positive Impact Points, and it is a rewards program, just like the rewards you get from an airline or the rewards you get from your local coffee shop. It is a rewards program that gives you rewards that have positive benefit on the planet for doing things that have positive impact on the planet. And I think it's a great idea for designers and retailers, especially anybody who is selling to consumers, because it's a consumer-facing rewards program. So I suggest that you check it out and consider getting involved with that. But let's talk about selling, because making these sales on eco attributes is the purpose of any promotion that you are going to run. So selling as we know it in the furnishings industry is what is described as consultative selling. First, you have to start a conversation. You have to initiate contact with whoever walks into your furniture store, for instance. And then once you're talking with them and finding out what they are looking for, what brought them in today, and you offer it to them, you have to overcome any objection they have to what you are offering. And finally, you need to create some urgency so that they actually make their purchase today. So we are going to be talking for the next bit here about how you use eco attributes to do these things. So you're going to do it by having your conversation in the same way you would, but you are going to focus, what I'm instructing you here on is focusing on different selling points. And we're going to talk about some questions that might be on your mind. First one being, should I wait for clients to ask for eco or for an eco attribute? Should you wait to start the conversation until somebody walks into your store saying, I'm here to buy an eco-friendly sofa? I hope that will happen today, but it is the fact of the matter that sellers drive the conversation and drive innovation. So you really have the responsibility for bringing up the conversation and bringing up the eco attributes. This set of pictures illustrates the fact that none of these technology companies asked consumers what they wanted. Rather, they responded to what is in the popular culture and innovated on it. So Nokia started the idea of using your telephone to text a message. And then BlackBerry came up with an actual keypad with letters on it to promote texting. And icons came into use later, but caught on so dramatically that now we have them everywhere. You can't buy a computer that's not covered with icons. That was not because some consumer said, give me icons. It was because businesses, innovators, were building on trends they saw developing in the industry. You can do the same in selling furniture. And it will take talking about it. So the next question is, what should I call this sustainable stuff? And you'll be interested, some of you know that we have done consumer research since 2008, and we've done it almost every year. So we have very good trending data, and we refer to it with some regularity. Well, one of the questions we ask consumers that we are surveying regularly is, what term do you prefer to describe this general area of what is eco-friendly? And I'm very excited to report that in our most recent survey, which was about a year ago, the word sustainable has become most popular. When we started these surveys, green was the most commonly used word, and we have seen it get more and more tired. It is used, it is understood, it is used, but only 8% of people prefer that term to describe this general area. What we have seen remain popular is environmentally safe and eco-friendly or eco-conscious. And this, when we think about it, of course, we want our homes to be safe and to be friendly. So I think that you can still use any term like eco-friendly or environmentally safe with good effect. But it is exciting to me to see that the term sustainable has become most popular, because it says to me that consumers are understanding a little bit more about the issues and are taking this more seriously. But I do think you'll have good success emphasizing safe and friendly options. Be sure when you do so that you have something specific to say about that product, because these terms are just covering the general area. So when you say, I can also show you environmentally safe options in sofas or in whatever it is you're talking about, you need to be prepared to tell them specifically what makes you describe this item as environmentally safe. And you might wonder, how am I going to bring this up? Well, you will find that it is easy to do so in the course of conversation, especially because there is so much consumer concern these days. So you can just bring it up casually in the course of conversation. You'll be showing them something, talking about something, and you'll just mention that it's eco-friendly, but be sure to say why you were saying it's eco-friendly, because it is durable, because it is made nearby, something like that. So who are you going to have this conversation with? I am going to recommend here and now that you have this conversation with everybody. You are talking to the furniture buying public. We do our surveys among the furniture buying public. Those people are generally in the age range 30 to 60 and generally have household incomes over $50,000 and generally own their own home. These are the people that we survey in our survey. And interestingly, here you can see that if they're on the older or younger end of that range, if they're on the more or less wealthy part of that spectrum, they are equally interested. The curve is the same. So you are going to start the conversation with everybody, and then we'll see where the conversation goes. And it might be that the people you're talking to have some difficult questions or raise some objections. So now we're going to talk about how you can handle those. So the first thing I want you to know is how important eco attributes are to the people who are coming to buy furniture from you. The things that are most important to all of us are similar. So in purchasing decisions for furniture, style is the most important thing. Quality is very important. And a fair price is very important. So all of us go shopping with whatever our taste is and with whatever our budget is, and we go looking for value. Notice that for 86% of us, the products being made without harm to the environment is important. Fair price is more important than that, but being made without harm to the environment is more important than being on sale or special promotion. So I think that, and this is something that we have seen growing over the years that we've done this research. So quality and style and price are important, but people do want their furniture to last a long time. I noticed I did not change a number on this slide. In fact, 65% of the people shopping for furniture now want it to last, expect it to last over 10 years. And that is something we have also seen change in the years we've been doing this research. So what are they worried about? What might the objections be? Well, people do not buy furniture just every day, and they are afraid of spending their money poorly. And they do think that eco attributes are likely to cost them more. We asked them, when you hear a product claiming to be eco-friendly, what is your expectation? And 46% of us think that it is probably going to cost more. And sometimes, as you know, you do have to pay for an eco attribute like certification, but not always. And people's appetite for learning, as we can see, well, I get to that in a minute, don't I? Okay, so just back to here for a sec. People wonder if they have, if they are about to make a mistake. And so I want to encourage you to remember that we humans are herd animals. We like doing what other people are doing. And we do it without even paying much attention to it, which we have noticed in our masking habits recently. You know, if we walk into a room full of people wearing masks, we are much more likely to put on our own mask than if we walk into a room full of people without masks. And that is another example of this herd mentality. But in your sales conversations, I suggest that you do keep this very casual. So you're walking around your store offering alternatives, but as you do so, you can be discussing the rising popularity of the eco options that you have on your floor. And you can say that many people are buying these eco options that you have on offer. This is what I thought I was getting to. When we have done this research over the years, we have seen these trends. People do think it is going to cost more, but notice that people have also, right the way along, thought that it would be the right thing to do to choose the eco option. So we've seen just in the last couple of times we've done this survey that people think it's even more important to, their first expectation is that it is the right thing to do to choose this eco option, and their second expectation is that it'll probably cost more. So you do have to address this cost expectation. But know that since people are thinking it's the right thing to do to choose eco options and they are curious, you have a lot of room to discuss eco attributes in some detail. It doesn't always cost more. Eco attributes might cost more. Certified wood, for instance, certified anything, certified wood or fabric, it has to be certified by a certifier who has to be paid. So that is going to add a cost to that material. Now, if that material is a part of the product, like a certified wood frame in a sofa, then it is probably not going to add much to the entire cost of the sofa. If the certified wood costs 15% more, but if the frame is just 15% of the entire cost of the sofa, it is not something that you are going to see in a dramatic change of the retail price. And then there are some eco-friendly materials that don't cost any more at all. Plantation grown woods don't cost any more. The rapidly renewables like bamboo, for instance, don't cost any more. And in foams, the biohybrid foam is the most popular eco option these days. It doesn't cost any more. Latex and down do cost more than the petroleum-based, more commonly used products, but latex and down are luxury products and are perceived and sold as luxury products too. So there are various ways of spinning it. And my point here is that not everything costs more, and there are various conversations you can have to explain what does cost more. And in general, we all know that that sometimes we get what we pay for. We don't expect the products in a big box store to be of the same quality as the products in a boutique retailer. So there's some about handling some objections. Next, we're going to turn to how you might use eco attributes to create urgency and make that sale now. one of the things that stops some of us as salespeople from bringing up eco attributes is wondering if they're being a hypocrite to sell just a few eco-friendly collections in a store full of what would be considered regular goods. And I want you to notice that when you go to the supermarket and are in the bread aisle, you find various breads beside the organic whole grain bread. And when you're in the cleaning products aisle, you find various cleaners beside the non-toxic choices. And when Toyota introduced the Prius, they were selling great big Land Cruisers more than anything else. And of course, they continue to sell those great big cars. But if you go into any car dealership now, you are going to find their eco options probably right at the front of the store. The fact is that when you are offering eco attributes, products with eco attributes, and when you are offering some of them, you are offering a range of responsible choices. It isn't that you need to clean out your whole store immediately and replace everything with the most eco-friendly in the world. No, that would be a different business. And it's, I hope there are people, we know there are people doing that business, but what I want y'all to know is that you are offering responsible choices that people will respond to. Their research that others have done show that consumers think better of a company that offers a wider range of choices. So does it really matter that we do this, that we take a deep breath and actually bring these things up, train ourselves to have these conversations about eco attributes in every conversation? It does, because our planet is in serious trouble. We are looking here at how the climate has warmed up since early in the Industrial Revolution. And it has gotten very, very hot. And it is not only the CO2 emissions, as I said earlier, but it is other pollution that is also very, very problematical now. So it is urgent that we do all act in whatever way we can in our businesses as well as at home. It's interesting to me to see this World Economic Forum's global risk assessment that they publish every year, and notice that this year 5 of the top 10 risk factors have to do with the environment, and there are others that have to do with things that are interrelated with the environment, but clearly, distinctly, 5 of those top 10 have to do with the environment. So it is urgent for us to do what we can to make a difference. And I am here to tell you that we do have a history of solving big problems. The hole in the ozone layer was identified back in the 1970s, and there was and scientists knew that chlorofluorocarbons used in aerosols and refrigerants were causing that hole in the ozone layer, and that we better, as countries, governments, better outlaw those things. And the Montreal Convention did encourage many countries signed on to that convention to outlaw chlorofluorocarbons, but that happened after consumers raised a ruckus. When it got into the popular press that there was a hole in the ozone layer the size of Texas over Antarctica, people became concerned and they wrote to their governments and said, how could you let this happen to us? And governments did respond. So similarly, it's consumer concern that has caused us to avoid lead and to mandate lead removal. And similarly, consumer concern led to the creation of the dolphin safe tuna fishing program. So consumer concern does have a history of making a difference. It all starts somewhere. You know, Margaret Mead said, never doubt that a few committed individuals can make a difference in making change in society. She said, indeed, that is the only thing that ever has. But more than this, I want you to know that there is huge opportunity in seizing the opportunity to make changes in your business operations and to be loud about it, to talk about it. So look at what happened in the Chilean solar market, the market for solar energy. This starts at the end of 2013. They had some megawatts. At the end of it grew, and it took a huge leap between 2015 and 2016. In that time, the government made a big commitment to doing more in installing solar energy. And it has made a huge difference in the economy there. So a version of this, I believe, could happen in our own businesses. And so I suggest that you seize that opportunity. But I also suggest that you do what you can in these conversations for sales, as well as at home when you recycle and adjust your thermostat and drive less and avoid single-use plastics and all these things that we're doing. Sometimes we think, oh, it's only a drop in the bucket. What difference can it make? It can make a big difference. It makes a difference in how you feel. And making a difference in how you feel about doing your job has you doing a better job, has you selling more, has you making a bigger difference on the sales end, as well as on the social and environmental impact end. I meant to say, and you might have noticed that in the World Economic Forum report, right after the top 3 items that are environment related, the next risk factor for our economy is our deteriorating societal mental health. We are distressed, we are depressed, and it will make us feel better to do things that make a difference. So I encourage you to make sales that make a difference. And really, we have a huge opportunity here in the furnishings industry because we use so much wood, so really can make a dent in saving the forest, because we use so many chemical inputs and really can exert pressure that'll encourage the development of safer chemicals, and because we're making a durable good, so we can make huge advances in accelerating the circular economy. So I hope you will be inspired to do so. And with that, I want to take your questions and your comments. So put them in the questions pane here, and I will address them. So the first question: your opening intro detailing fossil fuel use in furnishings manufacturing highlighted the industry's use of for energy and transportation. Missing was any mention of an oil as a base material in fiber, and fibers such as polyester, man-made synthetics, and fabrics. You are absolutely right. And the fact is that 80% of the environmental impact of any product is in what it's made of. So when it is made of a material that has a huge environmental footprint, like a petroleum-based product, it's a really big deal. Interestingly, on a lot of these petroleum-based products, is they're very recyclable. And one thing that I do encourage us to do on the topic of circularity is choose recycled polyester that in some cases is made of, like I'm in North Carolina, and Unify makes a recycled polyester fiber of plastic bottles that are discarded here in North Carolina. So one of the things about polyesters and other plastic petroleum-based products, fiber products, is that they are recyclable. Oh, and then the next question from the same person: plastic fiber and fabrics represent 80% of the industry's carbon footprint. Yes, okay, I can see that. How is the SFC addressing this primary challenge? Natural fibers and domestic manufacturing seem to be natural and pragmatic solutions to a very serious problem. You are absolutely right. They are indeed. And on natural fibers, and if you're interested in this, I do recommend you take our Green Leaders course, because we do discuss different fibers in some detail. Natural fibers are not all created equal. Some of them have larger environmental footprint than others, but all of them in general do have smaller environmental footprint than synthetic fibers. And of course, wool and cotton have been recycled since very early in the Industrial Revolution. So they also have huge potential for accelerating our part in the circular economy as well. So thank you for those. Anybody else got any questions or any comments? Okay. Well, y'all, I really appreciate your attention today. I hope that if you're interested, you will get involved with us. You can get involved by joining as a member of the organization, if your company is interested in that, and you can get involved by taking more courses with us, including our next month webinar, which will be on the topic of circularity. So if you are interested, please join us again next month. Thank you for your attention. Bye now.